everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to continue to talk about Swingers. That's right, Swingers from 1996. Great movie. I love it. Absolutely love this movie to death. It's in my top 5 of the best guy movies ever made. Some of the other movies that included on that list would be like Chasing Amy, back when Kevin Smith was good and had something to say. High Fidelity, that's another movie that I reviewed like a year and a half ago. It's on this channel if you want to see what I thought about that. That's a great chick flick for guy right there, High Fidelity. John Cusack really played the average guy very, very well. And some of the pitfalls that men have to go through in dating, you know, and some of the problems that women give us in dating, okay? And we also find out that a lot of the problems that men experience in dating, a lot of it we cause ourselves. We really do. Okay, but try to find a chick flick where the woman actually accepts responsibility for her own actions. Yeah, try to find that. No, the boyfriend's always an asshole. You know, it's always something. Okay, it's never her fault. Okay, why her relationships fail? It's always the asshole. You know, boyfriend, the jerk. You know, who promised something and he couldn't do it. Now he spends the rest of the movie trying to make it up to her. Meanwhile, she's over here getting filled out like an application from every fucking 6'4", square-jawed, well-hung, six-pack ab stud that walks by her line of sight. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the movie, the guy, you know, forgives her for all that and takes her back. You know, and they live happily ever after. Get the fuck out of here with that noise. Okay, Ripley, don't believe that shit. Neither should you. Okay. But back in the 90s, for those of you who aren't old enough, back in the 90s, it was kind of a cool time, okay, because, you know, we grew up, those of us that grew up in the 80s, you know, there was a formula to movies, okay? You pretty much knew what the movie was about, and you knew how it was going to end before you ever saw it. Okay, all you had to do was hear about the movie, to see the trailer, and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up just like this. And guess what? It ended up just like that, okay? So there's the charm of movies, okay, wasn't the ending. Okay, it was just how we're going to get to the ending. But the ending was already preconceived, okay? We already knew what was going to happen at the end. We just didn't know how they were going to get there. And that was the excitement, okay? We knew Indiana Jones wasn't going to die, okay? but how he survives all the traps and all the you know, the dangerous scenes that he's in, that's what we were interested in, you know? Stuff like that, like Star Wars, like that. Pretty every movie, like Romancing the Stone, you know, those are the ones like Back to the Future. I mean, all these movies, these big budget Hollywood movies. So we were already preconditioned to know what was going to happen in these movies, okay? But then in the 90s, they started coming out with these artsy-fartsy movies, all right? These like straight-to-video or type stuff. These theaters started to turn up that was like artsy-fartsy theaters, you know, where they would have very limited releases. You know, they would show like a lot of European shit, you know? Like I saw this movie called Europa. Okay, which was about a Polish guy, Jewish guy who pretended to be a German, a Nazi, so that he wouldn't get put into the concentration. And he did pretty well. Like he even like had a girlfriend who was a German, you know, in World War II. Yeah, and he had to pretend, you know, he had to hide his schlong because, you know, he was Jewish, so he was circumcised. Okay, and he had to like make sure, you know, if anyone looked at his dick, they would know he was Jewish, that he wasn't German. So he had to hide that, you know, and he even tried to like to sew the skin, but it's gross. Okay, but this is a true story. Okay, like you would watch, like you wouldn't see something like that in a mainstream movie theater. You couldn't go to AMC and see a movie like that. You had to go to one of these artsy-fartsy theaters to see something like that. Or there's another one I saw on My Own Private Idaho, which I swear to God, I wish I could have gotten my money back on that. All I knew is that Keanu Reeves was in it, and I knew that River Phoenix was in it, you know, and River Phoenix had passed away recently, you know, he had overdosed. Okay, at the Viper Room, which is a nightclub that Johnny Depp owned in Hollywood. Okay, so, you know, and I was already a Keanu Reeves fan because, you know, Point Break and the Bill and Ted movies, you know. So I wanted to see it, okay? It was Keanu Reeves in it. How bad could it be? Oh, my God. I thought the movie would be okay until Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix started fucking each other. And then I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm out. Like, you know, I know it's artsy-fartsy Gus Van Sant movie. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do. It was gay as fuck. You know, and I was like, okay, nah, you know, so it was situations like that started to question the validity of going to these like artsy fartsy theaters, you know, and to watch these limited release independent, low budget independent movies. All right, so that kind of like got me out of that. But then I also saw some good ones too. I saw Vampire Hunter D, the anime. I saw that in an artsy fartsy theater, limited release, and I loved that movie. I loved that anime. It was great. Not my favorite, but it was great. I loved it. Okay, so the point is that in the 90s is when this started to happen. We started getting these movies that you didn't really, like a friend would have to tell you about it in order for you to know about it. And if what they said was really cool, and if you trusted their opinion, then you would actually go yourself to go see the movie. Okay, and that's the kind of thing that Swingers was. Okay, low budget, 250 grand to make the movie. Jon Favreau, the star of the movie, wrote the movie himself. He got his buddy to direct it. Okay, it's the first movie he ever directed. Okay, he got his friends to be in the movie. You know, like one of his best friends was Vince Vaughn. Okay, so this movie put Vince Vaughn on the map. Okay, because they both played minor characters in the movie Rudy with Sean Astin. Yeah, it's the one about Notre Dame, the Notre Dame football team. All right, so they had minor roles in that. Okay, and so they already knew each other. So he put his friends there. Ron Livingston was actually his buddy from Chicago. Okay, in real life, and they both came to LA together to make as an actor. Ron Livingston, as you know, has done a lot of stuff since this movie. This was his first movie too. Okay, so he got his friends to be in the movie. I'm sure he paid them like scale or whatever the hell it was, And the movie did very well, not because it was high budget or nothing like that. It wasn't. They had no names in this movie. Nobody was famous yet. Okay, Heather Graham's in it, and nobody knew who the hell she was. Okay, in 1996, she wouldn't become famous for another year when she does Boogie Nights in 1997. That's when everyone knew who Heather Graham was. But in 1996, nobody knew who the fuck she was. Okay, and the same goes for everybody. Okay, Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau, Ron Livingston. Nobody knew who the hell these people were until later on. Okay, so this movie, so there's you see how young they are. Okay, and this movie deals with with dating. I mean, it's stuff that guys go through. Women don't understand this shit. Whenever you hear dating or the problems of dating, you automatically think of a woman and all those fucking chick shows out there. You probably think about those fucking stupid ass chick shows from fucking CW, like One Prick Hill, and Dawson's Crack, and fucking Everwoody, and Gilmore Sluts, and shit like that. That's what you automatically think of. Okay, you don't think about the stuff that guys go through. You don't. It's all about what the women goes through. And that pisses me off, because you have any idea how much money a movie would make if they were just making take some of these like traditionally chick flick concepts and focus it on a guy. But here's the key. They have done this before, but here's the key. The key is that the men in the movie actually act like men. They're not some little soy boy pussy boys. Okay, like Ben Stiller and Jason Bateman. I'm sick and tired of seeing shit like that. You got the nerdy guy, you got the hot girl, and he's trying to win her over. I mean, this is ridiculous. Get the fuck out of here. Look out your fucking window. Go outside, okay? Look at the type of hot ass women. Look at the men that they're dating, okay? What do you see in common? Okay, that's probably more realistic, okay? If they're dating someone who's like a nerdy boy or something, I guarantee you, man, she's getting fucking paid, okay? He is providing her, okay, with a lifestyle that she would not have without him, okay? And that's the truth, okay? You can fucking sugarcoat it all you want. You make up all this bullshit. Oh, how a man makes me feel is the most important. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, because that's not what I see when I look outside. No, okay? Now I'm talking obviously not all women are like that, but let's not pretend that they're not like that, okay? Let's not pretend that a lot of women are like that, okay? That's the problem I have. Whenever I say something like this and some bullshit feminist tells me, oh, you just mean a misogynist, you're leaving island. No. I'm not saying all women are, but I'm saying enough of them are that fucking I can call them out on it. That's what I'm saying, okay? Yes, I mean, you see it all the time, man. Now, I'm not saying that these women, these hot-ass women, you got some hot 30-year-old woman with no kids, tight-ass body, she's got a BBL, fake tits, and all that kind of shit, right? Looking good. Even though she's 30 years old, what the fuck she get all that surgery for? She's only fucking 30 years old. Okay, and her husband is 55, fat, short, bald, okay, but he fucking drives a Maserati, right? So guess what? You understand why she's with him. Okay, it's pretty obvious why she's with him, okay? And of course, yeah, maybe she'll marry him or something, because he keeps her in Chanel and shit, all the fucking Versace that she could ever want. Okay, but of course she's gonna fuck a younger guy, a more athletic guy, with more vigor. Okay, she's gonna fuck a guy like that behind her husband's back. Okay, we both know that's gonna happen. All right, but the point is she's gonna marry that guy. Okay, and she's gonna go to functions with him. She's gonna go out with him to make him look good. That's her job. Okay, and that's typically what you'll see. Okay, these movies think the nerdy guy can get the hot girl and get the fuck out of here. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. I'm sorry, it's just not. Y'all should watch back in the early 2000s. That was the era of reality TV. Okay, this show called Survivor came on the air and it just fucking blew up. And next thing you know, all the other networks were just copying Survivor. They were just trying to get their own reality shows. Okay, everything was a reality show now because it was cheaper to make a reality show than it was to pay a bunch of actors and stuff and directors and stuff like that and screenwriters. You know, so they would have some dating shows. Okay, some of them are still around, like Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Those are still around. Those came out back then. Okay, all right. But I remember there was a show called Joe Millionaire. Okay, which is to me is the greatest television show ever fucking made, next to Hee Haw, of course. And Joe Millionaire, that guy. Okay, he was super good looking. He was a model. Of course, he was a model. Okay, all right, super good looking guy, right? 6'4", like, you know, built like a fucking, you know, incredible, fucking ripped as shit, chiseled features, everything, right? But he was kind of a dumb fuck. He was kind of like, once he started talking, you could realize he was kind of an idiot. All right, like there wasn't much going on up here. Okay, but his problem, okay, was that, you know, he couldn't find a girlfriend, okay? And he only earned $19,000 a year. Like, I guess they did his taxes, okay? He worked like construction, okay? He tried to make it to Hollywood. He tried to be an actor. He went to auditions. He did modeling. He was a male stripper. He did all these things and nothing, you know, he never got the career that he wanted, so he ended up going back home, okay, to some, I think it was in Pennsylvania or some shit, whatever. And he got into construction work, okay? Making $19,000 a year. Well, they recruited him, and this show, and it was on Fox, and what they wanted to do is they wanted to make him, they wanted to like give him take him to charm school so that he could basically pretend to be a millionaire. And they found like 15 hot ass girls, okay? And they told all these women that this guy was worth $45 million. And they took these women to this chateau in France, and they said, "This is his chateau." Okay. I'm not making this up. This is a real show, okay? And so they all got there. Of course, as soon as they saw him, oh my God. I mean, the pussies just got wet like as fuck, man. Especially when they found out this big chateau, this huge mansion, okay, in France belonged to him. I mean, the pussies just got super fucking wet right there. Okay, and he started dating all of them, okay? He was trying to find the one, all right? And the key to it is just like The Bachelor, only the key was, the twist, was that once he picked that one girl that he was in love with, okay, and he went through a few of them, okay, then he would have to reveal to her in the very end of the whole thing, he would have to reveal to her that he doesn't have $45 million. He's like, I don't have $450. Best idea ever for a show, okay? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, you know, this is a big part of dating. Okay, for a guy. Okay, women like to focus on what men look for in a woman, even though no feminist wants to admit that. Okay, but it's true. You're always, what are you wearing? Like your nails? How much do you weigh? How big are your titties? Is your skin sagging? Do I need to get Botox? You know, how's my butt look like? Do I need to get a BBL? You know, that kind of, you women are always fucking doing that shit, right? You know, because you feel that we have these expectations. Well, we do. I mean, we don't want you to fucking hurt yourself, look like an idiot. Don't be 30 years old and getting a BBL, okay? It looks so fucking fake, all right? But the point is, I see it all the time at the gym, all right? But what I'm saying is that, like, guys, okay, we also have expectations that women place on us that are not necessarily fair either, okay? We don't like being known as fucking walking ATMs, okay? And I know a lot of women do that. You know, no woman will admit that, but it's fucking true. We see it all the time. Okay, so you know, so there's expectations on us too, and what this show did was it kind of flipped that around. Okay, like, oh yeah, I got the money, I got the looks, I got all this kind of stuff, and then you find out I don't have any money. It was all fake, which is great. That's like, that would be the equivalent of a guy finding this hot ass girl, falling in love with her, dating her, only to find out that that's not really her. Okay, like she's really fat underneath her. So I know that's never happened in real life, but you know, she's really fat and unattractive and old underneath, you know? Like, oh, what? But you love me for me, don't you? You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, all right? These are some of the things that us men go through, and they don't make enough movies about that. They don't make enough stuff about us and our problems in dating, because nobody gives a shit. No, it's a female-dominated genre, and females don't really give two fucks about the problems that men go through. It's true, they don't. They're too busy thinking about their own problems and the problems that women go through. You see what I mean? Okay, and that to me, that's kind of bullshit, all right? Because there is a market out there. Okay, this movie's a perfect example of that. Swingers is a perfect example of this. It's chick flick territory, but it's for men, and the men in the movie act like actual men. Okay, that doesn't mean they're perfect, square jawed, you know, guys. Okay, these are men that actually act like real men. Every straight guy I know that's watched this movie can relate to it on some level, some character, some something. Even me. Okay, I know what it's like to be nervous around girls. I know what it's like to like a girl from a distance and have to go up there and approach her, when you're nervous. I know what it's like to call a girl at the wrong time and have her shoot me down. I also know what it's like to talk to a girl that I thought was completely out of my league, only to fucking take her home that night. I know what it's like to be depressed about a breakup, and think I'm never going to find that again. I also know what it's like to be the guy that just fucking goes in the club and just fucking starts scoring all these different girls. I know what it's like to be that guy too. All right. So this movie is very, it's very realistic in its depiction of the different phases of men, the different types of men. Okay. And I can't help but looking at this, when I was younger, I was actually a lot more like Mikey is in this movie, Jon Favreau's character. I was a lot more like that, very emotional, very sensitive, very, you don't have to reject me. I'll reject me first, okay? You know what I mean? Like, if I asked a girl to dance, once the song was over, I would okay, thank you very much, walk away. I wouldn't even stay there and keep dancing with her, because I would have just assumed she didn't want to dance with me anymore. She only agreed to one song. The song's over, so now it's time, So, and John does that in the movie. Mikey's character does that in the movie. Once the song's over, once he gets the girl to dance with him, the song's over, he's like, okay, bye, because he just assumes that she doesn't want to dance with him anymore. You see what I mean? He's shooting himself down. You see what I mean? And I've done that too. And every guy I know has done that at some point or another. Okay, and then you got someone like Trent, Vince Vaughn's character, who's just the life of the party. He didn't give a fuck. He just wants to get fucking laid. And he's good at it. Like, he's good at talking to girls. He's got that personality. He's very flamboyant. Not flamboyant, that's the wrong word. Very extroverted. High energy. Okay, he's very immature. When he gets drunk, he starts acting like an idiot, But he's a very charming idiot, He acts like a little bit of an asshole. He's a charming asshole. Okay, you see what I mean? And I know guys like this in real life. Okay, that's why I love this movie so much. A lot of you women, I reviewed every fucking episode of Sex and the City, every single one. It's on this channel. You don't believe me? Look it up. Pick any episode from Sex and the City, and I got a review on it. Okay, and I give you a straight man's point of view. That's the difference. Okay. But one of the biggest things that show was so popular for women was because every woman could see some of themselves in every character. Okay? Especially the conversations that they had. There were no TV shows. Well, a woman couldn't watch a fucking TV show like Falcon Crest or shit, or Dallas, where the women would sit around and talk about, getting fucked in the ass, okay? Or cocks that are too big, okay? They talk like that in real life, but there was no show where you saw the women talking about that stuff until Sex and the City. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's what Swingers was, okay? These guys were talking about getting laid, which today in 2020 would never happen in Hollywood because thanks to Me Too and Harvey Weinstein, all this stuff, any guy that shows any interest in a woman at all is automatically labeled rhymes with therapist. Okay, you know what I mean? Can't really say that on YouTube, all right? So you see what I'm talking about? Okay, like it's automatically considered sexual assault. If you look at a girl too long, that's sexual assault. That's why if you look at a movie or TV shows or movies now, it's always the woman that makes the first move. It's always the woman that kisses the guy. Okay, it's never the guy that kisses the girl anymore because that's considered sexual assault. You see what I mean? Even like in Snow White, I mean, she's fucking unconscious and he fucking Prince sexually assaults her by kissing her while she's unconscious. Okay, there was no consent there. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's how crazy it's gotten now. Okay, like a man can't even be attracted to a woman anymore. He can't even show attraction to a woman anymore, okay? Well, in the 90s, we hadn't quite gotten there yet, where we are today, okay? And this movie doesn't just say it's okay to be attracted to women. It's saying, go do it, man. Go for what you want. It's okay to go get laid. It's okay to fuck another girl after a breakup. It's okay to move on with your life, okay? You're not doing your ex-girlfriend any favors by crying about her over and over again, hoping she'll come back. That's not going to help you. It's not going to help anybody else. You got to take responsibility for your own fucking sex life and your own relationship life. Go out there and fucking do something. Quit sitting on your ass and quit being a fucking pussy. Okay? Get the fuck up and go get fucking laid. Be a fucking man. That's the message of this movie. It's a good message. Men need to hear that, especially today. You got these fucking boys out there walking around in fucking skinny jeans, for Christ's sake. And they're straight. What the fuck? Anyway, I'm Diego. I'll give you a straight man's point of view. Let's continue to talk about Swingers here, all right? Okay, so when we left off last time, Mikey, Jon Favreau's character, okay, he went out drinking with Trent and Trent's roommate, Sue, okay, and they went to a bar, okay, and they got a booth there, okay, so a bunch of girls sitting with them, they're getting all fucked up. Mikey's not getting fucked up, though. Mikey's not drinking any alcohol because he's the designated driver, okay? So he's not having as much fun as Trent and Sue are, okay? They've got women at the table. Some women even try to talk to Mike, but Mike doesn't, you know, he doesn't want to talk. He's being a pussy, okay? He said that he's not really over his ex-girlfriend Michelle. They broke up, 6 months ago, and she's still in New York. He's in LA. Okay, he's trying to make it as an actor. He's not doing so well. Anyway, his friend Rob gave him a big pep talk. Hey, fuck her, fuck that ex-girlfriend of yours. You gotta move on with your life. Life is beautiful once you let go of the past. The typical shit. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you, all that kind of crap. And so he's out. He said, okay, he's gonna give it a shot. He's gonna try to get over Michelle. Forget it. Quit talking about her. Quit thinking about her. Go out there, find another girl. Find another girl, because he has not gotten laid since he moved to LA. He hasn't stopped crying about Michelle, despite the fact Michelle's back in New York fucking another guy. Despite all that, he has not moved on with his life at all, and it's hurting him inside. He's scared to talk to girls. Every time he meets a girl, he fucks it up. Okay, so so he's gonna try again. Okay, he's gonna try again. So he's sitting there. He's not drunk like the other girls and the guys are at his booth. So he just walks away. He goes up to the bar. He sees this hot girl, redhead, sitting across from him at the bar. Okay, and she's dressed like it's the 1940s. Her hair looks like something like Carole Lombard used to wear her hair like that. Okay, or even like Joan Crawford, like in the late 30s, early 40s, she wore her hair like that in the movies. Okay, yeah, she's a girl like that. Okay, it's Heather Graham. She's hot. He goes up there. He finds his balls. He decides he's gonna be a man, and he goes up there and he introduces himself to her. He makes some small talk. Her name's Lorraine. Okay, he's like the quiche. And she's like, oh yeah, I never heard that before. He's like, well, I like quiche. So I thought real men didn't like quiche. Okay, well, I guess my reputation precedes me, whatever. Anyway, so they start chatting up, okay? Now, meanwhile, Trent and Sue, they're drunk as fuck, sitting at the booth, but they can see. They can't hear what Mikey and Lorraine are talking about, but he can see Mikey talking to this hot girl at the bar, this hot redhead. So he's like, oh, man, look, it's on, man. Look at Mikey over there, it's on, man. Oh, it's so fucking on. Oh, it's so fucking on. Just watching, doing their shots and stuff, right? So that's going on. Anyway, so they make some small talk, and he says, like, there's some advantages, being single, because she lets it drop that, she just got out of a relationship 4 months ago, and she moved to LA. Okay, she moved to Hollywood. And he tells her, of course, he told this to every fucking character in the movie, that he just broke up with his girlfriend 6 months ago. And she says, well, please tell me it gets easier. He's like, oh, I wish I could, man, but it's not so bad being single. So she said, what are the advantages of being single in LA? He's like, oh, well, if you talk to a hot girl or something, a beautiful woman, there's nobody watching you. She's like, really? Okay, what else? Well, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Oh, so if I were to be talking to a handsome young man and I were to ask him to dance, he would do it? He's like, oh, well, you mean if maybe if you wanted to, if it was you, you'd want to, but yeah, I guess that would be okay. Yeah, I guess he would do that. Yeah, that kind of. He's stumbling around like he's got no fucking game. This guy's not a player. It's one of the things that I wish women would quit judging. Every time you hear a woman complain about men, it's always the same fucking shit. He fucks too many girls. He can't keep it in his pants. He's loose. And that's just not true. Most guys are not like that. Okay, that's the small minority of men. Okay, which unfortunately is the majority of women are attracted to men like that. But it's the small minority of men that can pull that off. Most guys are like Mikey here in this movie. They're just average. They're not trying to fuck every hot girl they meet. They're just trying to find one girl to be happy with, to settle down with. I know, weird, right? Weird. And these are the same guys that get shit on by women all the fucking time. Okay, but that's all Mikey wants. He's not trying to be a player. He's not like Trent. He just wants to fuck every hot girl he comes across, That's not him at all. He wants the monogamy. He wants all that kind of fucking shit. All right? He wants the true love, okay? Because he's kind of a pussy inside, all right? But that's what he wants, Hey, he's got to go out there and go for it. All right, and this girl seems really nice that he met. Okay, so I know what it's like to meet a girl for the first time, start feeling those butterflies. It's incredible. It's great, man. Women, you know what that's like too. Okay, when you finally meet somebody that excites you, it's just like, oh wow, like I want to know more about this person. I've been in that situation myself many times. Okay, and where they just have automatic chemistry, like they click. Something about this person is complementary towards you. Your personalities kind of complement each other. As Rocky said it in Rocky 1. Sylvester Stallone's character Rocky said, we fill gaps. I got gaps, you got gaps, when we're together we fill each other's gaps. And that's true. That's true. Okay, that's how he feels about this girl Lorraine. So that's going on here, and like I said, Trent and Sue are just sitting there at the booth. Sue's got a girl with him there, But she's like pissed off because he's not paying attention to her. They're just getting fucked up and they're watching the whole thing. All right. Trent's like, oh my god, look, oh man, God bless him, God bless him. He's out there, he's gonna get laid. That kind of thing. Typical guy stuff. All right. Anyway. One thing I did notice about Heather Graham's character Lorraine in this is that Lorraine is actually smiling at him. Okay, she's smiling at him. Okay, these are the little cues you can pick up on to see whether or not a girl likes you. Okay, and she is giving those total vibes. Okay, the other women that Mikey tried to flirt with in this movie, none of them smiled at him. They didn't smile at him. Okay, and one of them laughed at him, but she laughed at his expense. She wasn't smiling at him. Okay, but this is the first time I saw Mike with a girl, and she actually smiled at him. Like, she enjoyed his company. Now, I already raised a bullshit flag about the situation in the last video. Okay, a woman that looks like Heather Graham sitting there, with her hairstyle like fucking 1940s and wearing a dress no less from the 1940s. A woman like that would have been hit on by 5 or 6 times before Mikey ever got there. Okay, and the fact that she wasn't hit on, that she's there by herself, which is bullshit. No woman goes out by herself in Hollywood unless she's a fucking hooker. Okay, by herself in a strange bar with a bunch of strangers that she doesn't know. No. The girls go out with their girlfriends. Okay, they go out with their girlfriends. Okay, she wouldn't go by herself, and she goes by herself. That doesn't make sense to me. That's not very realistic. And the fact that no other guys have hit on her at all, that's not realistic either. Okay, some guy with a lot of game, someone like Trent would have hit on her already. Okay, and the chances are high because guys like Trent, they get all the women. They do. She would have already given him her number, or she would have left with him, or something like that would have already happened. Okay, so the idea that she would get all excited over Mikey and his average fucking dad bod body, his no self-esteem, his very insecure aura, would not have turned her on realistically. Okay, but it's the movie, so you got to root for him, right? So anyway, so that's going on here. Okay. And they decide to go out on the dance floor, okay, and start dancing, all right? So that's going on here, okay? Okay, so she gets up, okay, and asks him to dance. So she's the man here. She actually gets up off her fucking stool on the bar and grabs his hand and takes him to the dance floor. She asks him to dance, all right? So they do, all right? Like, once again, dude, he surrendered his man card a long time ago. This whole movie, he's been a pussy. He really has. Okay, and she gets up and asks him to dance. Okay, and and he is stunned. He is stunned. Okay, so anyway, you can't believe a girl grabbed him and took him on the dance floor, right? Anyway, I bet she's gonna have to get him flowers too. I'm pretty sure she's gonna have to eat him out before he fucks her. All right. Anyway, so Trent and Sue, they're getting drunk. Like I said, they're at the bar. Okay, and they're at the booth. Sorry, not the bar. They're at the booth. Okay, and Sue is trying to talk to this girl sitting next to him. Okay, and Trent is staring at Mike and Lorraine. He can't stop looking at them. Okay, and Trent's like, look! It's so fucking on, man! It's on, man! Look what he's doing! Look, I swear to God, man! It's so fucking on, man! It's on! Look at this! That kind of thing. It's fucking on, and Sue's like, all right, Trent, it's on, man. Okay, so it's on, look, it's so fucking on, man. Oh my God, man. It's so fucking on. Now we're doing a shot right now. We're going to do a shot for Mikey because it's fucking on. Yes, I don't drink anymore, but back when I used to drink, yeah, I might have behaved similarly with my guy friends. It's at certain clubs that we went to. It's probably acted a little bit like that myself. Okay, so anyway, so that's going on here. Michael and Lorraine, they slow dance at first. It's a slow song. Okay, and then he politely excuses himself, like I said earlier in this video. Once the slow song is over, he's like, okay, thank you, and he starts to walk away from her. And she actually grabs his hand and pulls him back. Like, I'm not done with you. And I can understand it from Mikey's point of view. I've been in that situation before where I felt like so lucky just to be dancing with a girl that I thought, like, okay, once the dance is over, she's really not gonna want to dance with me anymore. So fuck it, just walk away because she's not really attracted to me. She would never, a girl like this would never really be attracted to me. I felt that way before. So I know what it's like to just give up before she rejects you. Okay, and that didn't happen. Okay, now I can understand it from Mikey's point of view, but when I saw this movie again recently to review it for you, I kind of saw it from her point of view and just how offensive it kind of is. I could see that being offensive to a woman for a guy to be like, oh my God, I just had this wonderful dance with you, and now you just want to walk away? Like, what the fuck? You know, now I can kind of see like, okay, yeah, it's kind of a dick thing to do. Although from the guy's point of view, they don't see it as a dick thing to do. Okay, they see it as like, okay, you know, I'm done bothering you. Okay, I know you don't really like me. I know that you're not really attracted to me. That you're never going to want to do anything with me again. So I'm just going to excuse myself before you hurt my feelings. Okay. Basically, that's what the guy's thinking. What the girl is thinking, and what an asshole! Like, we just had this great dance, and now he wants to fucking leave me. Just when I was starting to get to start liking him. You see what I mean? So I get both sides now. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. So anyway, so that happens. Okay, and she pulls him back to her. Okay, and now the band, it's the real band, is named Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. That's the band in this movie. I guess they're friends with Jon Favreau. And they start playing an upbeat swing dancing song. They're all dressed like it's the 1940s, 1930s, okay, where swing music was very good. Okay, it was very popular. Okay, remember, rock and roll hadn't been invented yet. Okay, so people were swing dancing during World War II. They're swing dancing before World War II. Okay, it was a very popular type of dancing and very acrobatic. You know, flipping up in the air, all sorts of twists and turns and all that kind of stuff. If you've never swing danced it, I highly recommend it. It's fun as hell. I've taken classes on it. I'm actually not bad at it. Okay, I spun girls up in the air. I've done all that kind of shit. Okay, it's fun as hell. There's some great songs that you can dance to. Okay, you don't have to pick songs from the 40s. Like for a good one would be like that I used to dance to all the time. Would be like something like Adamant. He did a song called Goody Two Shoes by Adamant. That's a great swing dancing song. Okay, and that came out in the 80s. All right, so there's songs out there you can dance to. They're really good. Jump Jive, you know, by Brian Seltzer. Okay, he used to be with Stray Cats. That guy. Jump Jive. That's a great swing dancing song. That came out in the 90s, around the time this movie came out. Okay, so there's other songs out there you can swing dance to. Okay. So anyways, that's going on here. So they start dancing like a high tempo now. Okay, the song that Big Daddy, that Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's playing is called "Go Daddy O." Go Daddy O. Okay, and I love it. I love swing dancing. Watching this whole scene here, it just brings back memories of me swing dancing. I love doing it. I can't tell you how many times I've done it. It's just great. Okay. I'm a big fan of swing dancing. Even before I ever saw this movie, I was already swing dancing. Okay, because I love to dance just in general. I love to dance. Okay, that's just my personality. I love dancing. Okay, so Michael and Lorraine, they dance together. Okay, it's really good. I read in the making of this movie that they actually had to go back to her house. John and her went back to her house to practice, rehearse this over and over again, like they would do it every day. Okay, to get the dance moves correct, so it will come off as believable in the movie. All right, and which is really cool because most of the characters, not all the characters, but most of the characters in this movie are dressed like it's the 1940s. If you look at Trent and you look at like Sue, okay, and you look at Mikey, okay, even Rob, okay, they're all dressed like in those bowling shirts that Charlie Sheen wore on Two and a Half Men, okay, or their long sleeve collar shirts. Okay, they wear slacks. No one's wearing jeans. No one's wearing gym shoes. They're all wearing slacks and shiny shoes. Okay, and the women, okay, like they even had a girl dressed like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. That came out in 1939. Okay, and she was dressed like that with the Dorothy hair. Okay, so you see a lot of that. Okay, like all these women are dressed like it's from a different era, despite the fact that it's taking place in 1996. Okay, the women are dressed like it's from a different era. Clearly, Lorraine here looks like she came from the 1940s. Okay, she's got the bright red lipstick. She's got very pale skin, red hair, long, like it's done like it's the 1940s style. Okay, she's wearing a 1940s style dress. Okay, later on we see her car is like from the 1950s or 60s. Okay, you know, I mean, Trent drives a 1964 Mercury. Okay, that's Vince Vaughn's character. It's a convertible. Okay, a 1964 Mercury. Okay, so a lot of the characters are not dressed from the era that this movie is taking place in. Okay, so it's really hitting home the swinging part of swingers. Okay, it's the clothes, it's the fashion, it's the topic, it's the music. Okay, Go Daddy O. It's the swing dance music. Okay, a lot of the songs in here are from like the Rat Pack and stuff. Okay, from an era long gone. Okay, even like shit from the 80s, like Magic Man from Heart is in it. That song appears in this movie. Okay, so there's a lot of that stuff in here. Okay, the way the men dress and all that, it's just like it's like from a different era. Okay, despite the fact that it's clearly 1996. All right, so that's going on here. Okay, they do the dancing. Trent and Sue are sitting there watching everything at the booth. Okay. You know, and Sue's actually trying to make it with this girl here, but Trent keeps interrupting him because he's drunk as shit, okay? And they're just staring at Mike and Lorraine, and he's like, beautiful, beautiful. Look what Mikey did. He's gonna get laid. that kind of thing. Anyway, so after that scene here, Mike walks Lorraine out of the bar, out of the club, to her car. Okay, and he tells her, okay, that he wants to make plans with her, that he wants to see her again. He's like, no, I want to see you again. No, I want to make plans with you. And she's like, well, I got a pen in my car. You got something I can write my phone number on? He's like, yeah, absolutely. So he pulls out his card, okay? He tells her he wants to see her again. He pulls out his card, and he tells her that he'll invite her to see him, because she's like, oh, what is this? You're a comedian? He's like, yeah, I'm a comedian and / actor. And she's like, well, I'd love to see you sometime. Perform sometime. He's like, well, if I ever get like a real gig, yeah, I'd invite you. And she looks at his card. She's like, oh, I like this. This has got the it's got the Groucho Marx duck thing on there. He's like, really? You caught that? I guess the logo that he used is a duck with a cigar. And Groucho Marx from the Marx Brothers, he used to have a game show in the 1950s called You Bet Your Life. Okay, where like the grand prize is like $50. Yeah, okay, I've seen a few episodes of it myself. All right, so Groucho Marx, his logo was a duck with a cigar. All right, and nobody, he's like, since I made these business cards, you're the first person since I moved out here that even caught that reference. So right there's serendipity. Okay, but of course, okay, he's starting to feel sorry for himself again. Like you said, if I ever get a real gig, I'll invite you to see him perform. And she's like, oh, well, I mean, weren't you the one that told me in there, that it's going to take some time? You got to be patient, that I got to be patient with my career? He's like, yeah, but you're in entertainment law, okay? And that's not something you just jump into. Entertainment law is not something you just jump into. And she's like, well, neither is acting. Not if you're serious. So now she's giving him a pep talk. Everybody gives him fucking pep talks in this movie. It's ridiculous. God damn it, dude. Grow a pair of nuts. You should be giving everyone a pep talk, not getting them. So Lorraine's like, well, you don't think he would? He's like, well, so sorry, that was wrong. She's like, you're serious about it. You gotta be patient. And she asks if she can keep the card because she liked the logo, like I said, from You Bet Your Life. Okay, and they say goodnight to each other. Okay, right there on the street. And he tells me, she's like, where's your car? He's like, oh, no, my piece of shit's over there. So beating himself up again. Which you never do this in front of a girl. Quit beating yourself up. Okay, I know, I've done it myself. That's how I know don't fucking do it. Women don't like that. Okay, if you're not fucking sure of yourself, how the fuck should she be sure about you? Okay? He decides to not kiss her. He pussies out on kissing her. He just watches her get inside her car, turn the car on, and then drive away. He doesn't kiss her, okay, but he does feel good. He feels really, really good. Like, he watches her drive away. He's just like, like that, okay? Like, this girl is special. I know what it's like to feel that way, but now that I'm older, I'm more secure in myself, I know a lot more things than I did back then, back when this movie came out. He pussied out. He should have kissed her. He should have given her something memorable. Okay, that's what I would have done. Okay, young me, 20-something-year-old me probably would have pussied out like he does in this movie, but older me, middle-aged me, would not have done that. Okay, would have given her something to remember me by. All right, okay, I'm gonna stop my review right here, Bob. Actually, to continue my review, I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.